episode of Bagged and Board. I am Vlad St. Valentine, and with me is Mr. Joseph Bowen. How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm high and tight, man. I had some of the neighbors' Everclear eggnog and some of that Japanese whiskey you brought over. So
It's a good boy.
I'm like swaying like the end of a Mortal Kombat round over here in my chair. All right, so today we're doing King in Black 2, ongoing with the King in Black series. We're doing King in Black and the Venom tie-ins with this, and Eddie Brock's basically been falling off a building for like a comic and a half. So he finally lands at the beginning of this one
On a car.
on a car.
Well, in all
Horrifically.
fairness, he bounces off a few walls inside of a alleyway as well.
That is true.
Very reminiscent of, was it Tobey Maguire, I think, with Spider-Man 2 when he loses his powers. He kind
Well,
of
also
bounces
the Maximum Carnage you reviewed just a little while ago when Spider-Man was kicked by Doppelganger. We were talking about the panel where he was bouncing off the walls.
He bounced off the walls too. Oh.
Yeah.
Here we are, full circle. We're back.
Yeah, there's our little parallel there.
We're back. Yeah. Never thought of it. I didn't associate that one. That's cool. All right.
Anyway, so Eddie crashes brutally on the car, and Spider-Man shows up, and he's like, he was panicking at this point.
Oh, he was all ripped to shit too. Because like whenever I first read that comic scene, I was like, why did he have his mask off? Because you see his mouth, like and like that's the one thing they focus on, his mouth. Like, why did he take his mask off to yell for help?
No, it's
and
just
then they close up. There's like, oh, he's been in it.
Yeah, and he's panicking. He's just calling because like Spider-Man's even freaking out at this point, and he calls for help, and Joyce there's no one coming, and he's like, Eddie, we got to move you. We can't keep you here. But like Brock's body's just pretty much broken at this point from the fall.
Yeah,
and
he fell real far too. Like a helicopter was flying by.
Yeah, and he tried to like push himself off. Like the explosion of the helicopter gave him time to propel himself against the wall. It was really goofy, actually.
That was goofy, but it kind of puts into perspective how high he was, because a helicopter's not going to be just that low to the ground.
No,
like that around all these buildings and shit. So
no, he was definitely up there. But Noel's not going to pick a small perch. He wants to see where he's conquering. So
I do.
The man arrived in a Celestial. What do you expect?
Granger's two. He had two of them.
Three.
There's three.
There's three.
Oh damn.
Okay. Yeah, spectacle's kind of his thing apparently. Or at least there was three in that panel. God knows how many there actually were with him. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, this is three landed next to him. Because apparently this was worldwide, Wakanda, Latveria, and Japan.
Well,
which that's still kind of annoying me a bit. I don't know why.
Other they mentioned like two fictional places,
two fictional places, and one
just
real one's like, oh, this is in the real world. No,
yeah, just to draw us back to reality here.
Like I said, just say Metropolis.
You want to get sued?
So Spider-Man's trying to get Eddie out of there, and Spider senses start tinkling, and there's a optic blast from symbiote-controlled Cyclops. He's like, because Spider-Man's like, they've killed everybody. But it's like, oh shit, no, he didn't kill everybody. He's turned them into his army.
He's controlled them all, yeah.
And you've got, who all do you have? You had symbiote-controlled Storm, Captain America.
Captain America, and there's none they showed as well. I think Wolverine. I think they got Wolverine too.
I know, we'll have it up here and we'll be wrong. So just sit there and name things, and we'll just cut to the one that's right.
Okay.
Name every character. I need a cut of you saying every Marvel character, and then we'll just cut to the right one.
Based on what I've been reading lately, you got Black Cat, you got Carnage, you got Shriek, you got the Doppelganger.
Yeah, none of those are right.
None of those right.
Okay.
Demogoblin. Let's see. Mr. McPixel Sticks. That's DC.
Yeah, Mr. Pixie Sticks is not.
Mr. Pixie Sticks.
Yeah.
I'm pointing because I want one to go here. Give me a Pixie Stick.
So dire situation here. It looks like, Eddie's body is completely fucked. He's kind of mumbling to Spider-Man, take care of my son, Dylan. Spider-Man's freaking out, calling for help that's not coming. And now he's facing,
what little help he had has now become one of the enemy at this point, pretty much.
And they're facing him down. He's lucky to have dodged, the optic blast. When out of damn nowhere comes a little bit of a miracle, the Human Torch comes blazing through, and he comes to give them a little bit of just respite, and he's like, "Hey, you can't do anything. Fire doesn't hurt him." He's like, "Cool. Then my going Nova won't kill them. It'll
at least slow them down so you can get the hell out of here."
He's like, "But you're gonna pass afterwards, and they'll take you." He's like, "Yeah, great. It was a great moment because it's so heroic. They got the camera kind of the shot going up, where Human Torch is looking down, Spawn down. It's like, yeah, man, tell him I said something heroic as I went out. I got a reputation to uphold, and sacrifices himself.
That's very Human Torch like as well.
Oh,
that's so Human Torch.
It was a heroic moment delivered in a James Gunn-esque way, with a bit of levity that took the piss out of it just enough that you didn't cry too much.
Yeah, there was just enough humor to where it's like, okay, well, I guess we can get through this moment. But at the same time, it's like, oh, we know how heavy this is.
Yeah, I really liked that moment. I really did. I
Yeah,
like
that
the
was
use of Human
pretty
Torch
good.
there.
That's a really
So
good shot of him too, like right before going Nova as well.
yeah, we got so little of him in this, but he made a big impact in just 2 or 3 panels. So good on him. Yeah.
Even then, in my opinion, still when it comes to Fantastic Four, he's probably the only one that really matters to me. The
Or
other
it's
three, I
interesting or
could,
fun. The rest of them are kind of wet blankets.
yeah, I don't care about the other three at all. Like they have no purpose.
No.
Like even, do you ever play?
Well, okay, no. Reed's purpose is for people in other comics when they need like a science guy to fix something for them with science that's basically magic, they go to him. If they need someone to fix something with actual magic, they go to Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange, yeah.
So they're the get out of jail free card, the Deus Ex Machina, you know what I mean?
So they're the Star Trek engineers, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Oh, we're in a bind. Let's make some weird shit up.
they're going to, synthesize some dilithium crystals and
Yeah.
outrun the spaceship or shoot them with more powerful photon torpedoes or
Yeah. Bounce
undo the
particle
gas
beam off the deflector dish and eject the core and
Yeah, or pump out the gas that's making everyone forget or devolve into animals or whatever it was. I just remember the Beast Dwarf trying to bang the monkey
they've got a
Deanna Troy or whatever it was.
Reed's always got like a closet full of tribbles just in case they need one,
He's fucking those tribbles, you know that, right? Then we cut to, Spider-Man's in the hospital with, Valkyrie's kind of staying with Spider-Man with Eddie, kind of in some secluded hospital bed. And he's like, you're going to fix him, right? And she's like, yeah, he's on death's door. So he goes and gets Dylan and takes him back to, whatever.
Which, by the way, like she could see the skull face over him.
The specter of death
So
looming
what is,
over him.
I don't understand this. Like what Valkyrie has that ability? Like what does that mean?
I don't know. I think it was rather metaphoric than literal.
Okay, because I didn't know there's like a thing that Valkyrie can do. Like
I don't know. I'm not really into what's going on with Jane Foster these days,
I know nothing about the character in the first place outside of what I saw in Thor Ragnarok, so I don't know.
But after this, he goes and gets Dylan, takes him back to what's left of like the resistance or the secret headquarters they have.
Eddie.
What's that?
You said Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh, because that's his son.
Yes.
Never mind. Got it.
Eddie Jr. is the other universe.
Right. Yep. So Dylan is the son.
Here.
Yeah. So you got the son, brought him back to that facility.
Yeah, he did that cool voice. Like Dylan's like, holy shit. He's like, it's like, watch your language. But yeah, agreed. I was like,
agreed.
Funny.
Yeah.
Cute little moment. And, they kind of ask about, how's Eddie's condition. And of course, there's no change. And we kind of get a cool moment with Namor showing up and like throwing his dick down and like, slinging it around, trying to prove he's the big man and stuff like that.
Which he kind of always is. It's just, you don't really give him the.
We have a cool line. He did a couple of cool lines. He's like, my people have been fighting in the dark forever. You guys just started. So we're more prepared for this. And also most of this world belongs to me. And if he wants to fight and wants to take it, then he's going to have to deal with me, which is like, I realize that.
Well, yeah.
I realize, Namor, you think you're the biggest dick swinging most of the time, but sometimes you're wrong. And in this case, you're probably wrong.
Yeah, I'm curious how this is going to turn out for him because I don't see it going so well for the Atlanteans there.
Well, he's, again, another great line. He's like,
no, Atlantean is DC. Are they Submarinans?
And they're still Atlanteans.
They're still Atlanteans.
You can't trademark Atlantis.
I didn't know if they did or not.
I don't know. I'm probably sure we're wrong about this.
Looking at Miles am I right?
Yeah. I know he's not going to Caden for us, man. He's drunk. But he's got another great line, the whole like, does any adults here have anything to offer in way of a plan?
I really love that. Where it's like, any adults have any ideas?
Yeah, and just being complete.
Or any plans, as it was. Any adults here have any plans?
Is that the memory right? Was he rocking a mullet in these scenes too?
I couldn't tell.
His hair was just slicked back, but I think I had a mullet-y look to it.
It looked kind of flat topish, but yeah, kind of back at the same time. Then again, Peter Parker looked like that too.
Maybe they're all just scraggly from fighting and not getting a haircut.
Oh, I mean, COVID.
Yeah, COVID, yeah. COVID, and then, Venom symbiotes coming out of the sky. It's just, it's
COVID
hard.
Symbiote, it's a shitty.
It's a shitty.
You got to fight with a mask on. It just doesn't work.
No, you get mask hair all the time.
Yeah.
You think bike helmet hair is bad? Mask hair, fuck. Spandex hair. It's just rubbing a bald spot in the back of his head. You know what I mean?
Oh, I bet it. I can't wait till is he like older Peter Parker?
Oh, he's not even older,
bald.
man. By the time he hits mid-30s, I bet he's bald as shit.
He should already be mid-30s.
He's already, well, yeah, I just don't know what age they ever make him in. Because now that Disney has him, they have the hard on for making him like teenage Peter Parker again. But like wearing a mask or a cowl or a hat all the time, like rubs your hair follicles out, ladies and gentlemen. And like, you just got to get a bald spot. Like, Look at old guys. Their legs are smooth as chickens because they've been wearing like slacks their whole lives and their calves are just rub bald. Same thing happens to your head wearing a hat all the time. Those hoods, those hoods and shit, all the spandex masks, everything, that is causing male pattern baldness and even like female pattern baldness to the women who are wearing them too. Like, I promise you.
A weird epiphany. That also means why, like, where my pockets are in my jeans, I don't have any hair in my legs there.
Yeah, it's probably from
Science.
playing pocket pull all the time and sitting there like vigorous motion in your pocket all the time when you're just rubbing one out or you think no one's noticing.
Oh, that also explains why I have less hair on one leg than the other.
Exactly. But in this scene also, one of the things I liked about this scene is like if you were just hopping into Marvel Comics with King in Black or whatever, and you were just a Marvel movie person, there's several things in this comic that you're gonna notice. You're gonna notice. There's several things in this comic you're gonna notice. Obviously Blade is here. Iron Man's here. Iron Man mentions the extremist virus, which is the main part of Iron Man 3.
I forgot about it until I read that and I was like,
oh yeah, me too.
I remember extremists now. Yeah. They made them look like dragons in the movie.
So I don't know if this is an edict down from Disney, but the little ads to things you remember from the movies recently is kind of like, all right.
The Blade thing really caught me off guard because I did not expect to see Blade in a comic book.
No, it's been a while, right?
It's been a long time, and I also forget he's a Marvel property most of the time.
Yeah, I think
I know he is, but I always forget about it because he's not used.
No, it's probably just because Wesley Snipes is too old to actually play the character, and so they don't have to worry about him being crazy. They don't have to worry about him coming back and being crazy on set. They can let someone else do it. After Namor asks if anyone's got a plan, Tony speaks up. So we get, Tony's crazy ass plan, and his crazy ass plan is to get a hold of one of those dragon symbiotes. One of the things that, when Carnage got a hold of it, nearly made him invincible. I think the Grendel symbiote was what they're referring to.
Dylan, it made him invincible.
Nearly. I think they're referring to the Grendel symbiote, which was what he was rocking during Absolute Carnage, because the actual Carnage symbiote he had given to. Okay, so Cleus Cassie's basically a lobotomized corpse at this point in time, but that crazy ass lobotomized corpse's memory is part of the codex and stuff like that, and that crazy ass memory bonded, I guess, with his body and one of the dragon symbiotes that was referred to as the Grendel symbiote.
Okay.
But he was rocking the Grendel symbiote, I think, all throughout Absolute Carnage and was pretty damn unstoppable. But he had given the Carnage symbiote to an insane Norman Osborn who was an insane asylum and thought he was Cleus Cassidy.
That's getting a little too deep for me.
Okay, so
why is that was Norman Osborn? He was also the Iron Patriot during the siege, the siege of Asgard.
So at one point in time, Norman Osborn got the Carnage symbiote and was Red Goblin.
Why Norman Osborn? I don't see the point of.
Because they wanted to combine the Green Goblin with Carnage, and they did it, and it was kind of cool looking. It looked like
sounds like Demogoblin to me, but okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like a red version of that. It wasn't bad.
Okay.
And he like infected Normie Osborn too, his grandson. So he was like his little evil sidekick and stuff. We talked about this last time, I think. But I think being bonded with the Carnage symbiote kind of infected him with Cleus's memories and was one of the things that drove him insane. Eventually, the point where he thought he was Cleus Cassidy. I don't know. I'm gonna guess that's how it all rolled, how it all worked out.
The symbiote thing, still thinking it's tied. Okay.
Yeah, because you have symbiotes that basically live as their host if their host dies, like the T-Rex symbiote. It lived on after Rex died. The Tyrannosaurus symbiote lived on after Rex. What's his face? Rex Colt. What the fuck is his name? Rex whatever. After he died, the T-Rex symbiote, because it had all of his memories and stuff as part of its codex, just took on his form and lived as him, for years and years and years.
Right.
Because he had died during Vietnam.
Vietnam. Yeah.
So the thing that was walking around as, Rex was just the Tyrannosaurus symbiote in a human form, in a human guise. So, I mean, I guess it's possible for those memories to, transfer with the symbiotes and infect it, because essentially the Carnage symbiote is just as insane and as violent as Cleus is.
Right.
Because we've seen that with the way it attacked Eddie and, Venom on Venom Island, which was the precursor to what happened. It was like what happened right after Absolute Carnage and before all this mess happened. So Iron Man's crazy ass plan is to go get one of those dragon symbiotes and bond it to Eddie
Brock, who's dying.
Yeah, because Eddie's dying. He's like, this is the only thing that can save him and heal his body.
Heal his bones. And because they went through everything, like, this is broken, this is broken, this is also broken. Like,
so, the symbiotes do heal the host body, and hopefully one of these like nearly invincible dragon symbiotes will just heal him up lickety split, lickety click, lickety Jiminy click.
Yeah.
Lickety split.
Jiminy click it, yeah.
Jiminy click, yeah. Heal him up, just Jiminy click. And lickety split.
Disney, so yeah, Jiminy click, yeah.
Jiminy click. Jiminy Cricket. And Jack Daniels. But anyway, Iron Man's gonna go get the Grendel symbiote, and he wants Namor to go awaken the Black Tide, which apparently is some ancient Atlantean evil like army or creatures that they had banished a long time ago. And
he said how hard it would be to bring them back, to get them back into rest as well, which he said is gonna be a bitch, but
sounds like it's gonna be the next major story arc for the Namor comics, if that is a thing.
It sounds like it might be, because even Tony said we'll fight that battle when it comes.
Yeah, so we're
it's like, really just kind of like dealing with one thing to fight the other thing to then fight the other thing back. But then again, that's
world-ending event versus like, let's just unlock all the monsters and have them all fight for the the savior of the world. Then we'll worry about who controls the world afterwards if there's anything like
exactly. Yeah, so it makes sense. But so Namor awakens the Black Tide, and then from there it cuts to Blade as well, who's going to Dracula to discuss, I guess, bringing the vampires in as well.
He's kind of just he's like conscripting them into the army here. It looks like he killed a bunch of them. He's like, you guys are going to cooperate, right? And it's like, all right.
Yeah, he's killed many of them on the way to Dracula, specifically, who's sitting there on his throne. Like, he matters, but he doesn't look like Bela Lugosi, so I really don't give a shit what he looks like.
Again, it's Dr. Acula.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Dr. Acula.
He did not spend 7 years in school to be called Dracula.
True. I'm sorry, Dr. Acula.
Disrespectful. These children of the night, what shitty music they make.
Oh, damn it. Okay. I wasn't ready for that. Okay. Yet. Okay.
But Iron Man flies right into the jaws of the dragons, and this is when he whips out the Extremis, because it's like, I basically have to break this thing from the hive, and I'm gonna do so by basically rewriting its DNA tearing down its DNA while rewriting at the same time, which is like, that's what I made Extremis for, and injects the thing and breaks it off, and he's covered in it, but he has some in a jar too, it looks like. He's almost overwhelmed by it, but he does get back to the base with covered in symbiote, it looks like.
Yeah, symbiote. He's also like kind of yellows from Extremis as well. It's like, it came out, it's a huge iron mess.
Yeah, it looks like it definitely looks a little industrial, little 9 Inch Nail symbiote is, you know what I mean? You got the little Geiger.
Trent Reznor, who spent some time in a cave and then also managed to come from space.
H.R. Geigery.
Very Geiger-like, yes.
A little Geigery.
Yep.
Yeah. A little Witchblade-ish.
Oh, black and yellow, black and yellow.
I like it. Didn't mind it. Was kind of cool.
Some Waka Flocka, yeah.
Yeah. But he brings the symbiote back and puts it on Eddie Brock, hoping it's going to help him. Eventually, the symbiote just kind of attacks him, and he starts to,
and maybe he'll be stronger and more.
Well, invincible. It's a dragon symbiote.
Yeah, invincible. Yeah, it's one of the dragons.
We saw what the Grendel one did, and I think that was just one of many. It was just the one that happened to be on Earth, and Noel's got a damn army of these things. But Eddie's vitals are spiking, and Reed Richards is freaking out. He's like, get it off of him, get it off of him. That's when Dylan steps up and just, blasts
one
it.
hand, like, just destroys the damn
thing. He just screams, everyone get away from him, and just obliterates it with his mind. Of course, Reed's like, you're going to be our secret weapon. He's like,
he may be the secret weapon, but you completely forgot about the fact that Eddie Brock is still dying.
And had died.
Which was,
and was flatlining while he's
died. He flatlined as it happened. So
yeah.
Like, you didn't, you're focusing on the wrong thing right now, dude. Now, like, the guy you tried to save is now fucking dead.
Reed is totally Mr. Impossible. Mr. Impossible from Venture Brothers is not even a caricature of Reed Richards. It's almost spot on.
It's so
how oblivious he is to everything else around him. Like science.
Like you got the Human Torch running around screaming because he's literally on fire and it's burning his flesh away. And he's like, oh, he's the Human Torch. Like, no, he's the man on fire and he's screaming because he's in pain. And we got to put him back in the chamber.
Oh, though later on he becomes a supervillain and uses him to power their whole building. But yeah, Dylan eradicates it. The thing with just the symbiote with just his mind, and Reed's freaking out, but of course Sue's like, "Shut the fuck up, his dad's dead," and that's kind of how we finish out the pan up shot.
Right, which is
The
weird.
overview shot of the soul shot of you looking over the body as you float to heaven. That's the end of this issue. We end with Eddie Brock dying on the table, and the good guys discovering that Dylan might actually be their secret weapon. But how you gonna coax a kid into fighting when his dad just died? So
Also, his power seems to be very
emotional based.
emotionally based. So he can't control it. So it's not like he can
No,
really use it when they need him to use it.
no, he had eradicated when he was pinned down by Norman Osborn wearing the Carnage symbiote during Absolute Carnage. He had pretty much obliterated that from him. I mean, a little bit survived and went about its way like it's wont to do, but
Yeah.
he nearly destroyed it with just.
Got to keep the stories going. Yeah. So
Hey man, you can't really destroy that symbiote Carnage symbiote completely, because then you won't have Carnage, and Carnage
true.
is a more violent version of the Joker for Marvel.
Yeah.
He's their agent of chaos. All right, man. That was King in Black #2. And I know we talked for an hour about something that didn't have a whole lot going on with it. It was mostly just showing up at the base and
It was a lot
Tony,
of
executing his plan or getting his plan
Yes.
executed. But as we see with his initial plan, I'm going to get this symbiote and it's going to fix everything. It didn't. So I imagine the Black
Right.
Tide's going to turn out poorly.
That's
and
what I
getting
want to
Dracula
see.
on board is
Like,
going to turn out poorly.
what's gonna happen? Yeah.
Oh, and
I'm
then
curious about all that. Like, what's gonna happen with the vampires and the Black Tide? And all because like
we forgot to mention they also said they were reaching out to like some seedy other people in the show Kingpin.
yeah,
like,
they showed
recording
Kingpin who wants to make money. I'm like, oh, don't. Trust
I don't
him
think
in
it was.
Kingpin.
He was trying to make money. He walks to a room full of villains and says, "Who wants to make some money?" I think
Yeah.
it's more like paying them to be part of this plan because they're villains and they're obviously trying to sit this one out. He needs to motivate them to fight.
Kingpin saying, "Hey, you want to do this?" Like, it's very Lex Luthor-y, where it's like, for a fact, there's always a catch-22. So
Oh no, I got the total Rick and Morty, you son of a bitch, I'm in type moment.
from everyone else, like,
Yeah,
oh, Kingpin wants to give me money. Yeah, I'll take that money.
you son of a bitch, I'm in.
You son
Yeah,
of a bitch, I'm in. Yeah, I
your
get
skills
that.
are required.
I'm real curious how this is going to turn out because there's a lot of stuff being thrown into the mix. Like, yeah, well, this one particular issue was a lot of setup, if you will. I'm really curious where this is going to go because you got the Black Tide, like you said. There's also, whatever the hell Kingpin is doing. Like, I'm really curious. Like, at the same time, still, I don't think much is going to happen.
Well,
I don't think they have much of a chance, honestly, because based on what's happened already, I don't think there's much they can do.
no, I think most of the things they end up throwing in the real world are going to be fairly futile.
I think so too.
And
Which
then
is why I really want to, especially the Black Tide, because my opinion is, like we were discussing, once this is over, Black Tide's gonna be the next thing. But who's to say the Black Tide isn't going to be completely destroyed by whatever this is? So that's what I'm like,
or just turned into another weapon.
exactly. So I'm like, this could go many different directions.
They
So
may be taken by the symbiotes and used to destroy the Atlanteans and Namor's people.
exactly. So like, this could go either like many different ways. So I'm really curious where this is going to go from here because it could really be, like, it's a toss up. It really is.
It may be up to Eddie and what he's doing in the Venom series when we get to see
Right.
what's going on with him.
When we get to that, yeah.
We'll actually get to that next time, guys. So yeah, like, subscribe, and join us here next time. We'll be doing Venom 32 in our ongoing King in Black series. So any final thoughts on King in Black 2, man?
Again, like we said, there wasn't a whole lot happening, but there was a lot of really good setup.
Yeah,
What's about to happen. So
yeah, this was a necessary issue. That's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Because without it, you don't really know where it's going to go. And at this point, it really could go many directions. So I'm pretty excited about it. So like, subscribe, hit the bell, help me fill this glass.
Say hi to your mother for me.